Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Today is the 5th day of the 30-day marriage challenge. Today is November 5th. It's a beautiful day in the land of the living. We above the ground, wouldn't you say, Swifty?
Yes, ma'am.
And we are super excited to come to you. You might hear a little clingering with the cups, with the spoon, because, Swift made us some good coffee this morning. And I'm super excited. It's a lot going on today, but we have to start this day off right by doing God's business and being obedient. Today, shout out is also Everard Cassidy's album release party, fundraiser. And Swifty, you and Beth are going to be taking the stage as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Big shout out to Beth. Big shout out to Everard. Congratulations, brother, on the move and everything you're doing. It's going to be a great event.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we want to always start out by saying thank you to our listeners abroad. We're super excited for me to be able to, for TT from the D podcast, to be able to have the listeners ranging all across the globe, starting with the United States. I'm going to shoot the list off as I have been doing every morning. Our listeners in Bahrain, Philippines, Canada, Ireland, Puerto Rico, Italy, India, United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, Romania, Netherlands, Australia, Russia, Germany, Denmark, Switzerland, Mexico, Egypt, Brazil, Guam, Ukraine, Bangladesh, and the least and the last and the best of the best. I'm not going to say that. But my newest country to listen says Republic. Am I saying that right?
Czech Republic.
Okay, Czech Republic. I am so sorry. My husband is a traveler, worldwide traveler. He would know. How you say that again?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. You ever toured over there?
I think so.
Okay, look at God. Won't he do it? Okay, so today's topic, Swifty, what is today's topic?
Today, we're going to touch into the 5 love languages.
Yes, we are inspired about the 5 love languages. We talked about this, I think, a couple days ago, just tapped in. And I said that, in the 30-day challenge, hopefully we'll be able to talk about it. And when I woke up this morning, I said, Swifty, what should we talk about today? He said, you put a couple things out there. What about the love languages? So I said, oh, yeah. I said, I could pull it up and we can go over it. And he was like, we got the book. I'm like, yup. I was like, it's downstairs in our area. We have a nice area Swift put together, a couple of bookshelves down there. And tell him what you said, because it's kind of funny when I told him where to locate the book.
I said, you sounded like a real true librarian. Like when you got 1,000 books in the house, and I'm like, how do you know where this one book is out of all these books? And he was like, well, it's on the left side, the second shelf. He was on the left side, the second shelf.
Yeah, see? And you know what? I'm not a librarian, but when we were putting our books in the bookshelves, I started with the first bookcase. So I know how that bookcase is set up. And that second shelf is dedicated to relationship books, especially married books, things on marriages and things of that nature. As I've been hinting around, and I'm saying hinting, in season 3 for 2023, you're going to find TT from the D doing a little bit more with married couples, married things of that nature. God has been pressing on my heart, and as our Pastor Carey, shout out to Pastor Harvey Carey, put it out there that when you've got something that presses in your spirit and on your heart and it's a burden to you, then that's your business to handle. And so I love love. I love relationships. I love marriages. Always been a fan of relationships growing up. And I didn't always have the best ones around me in the real physical form in real life. A lot of the ones I admire were on TV. But the ones I did, there's 2 for sure. But one for sure that really showed me a blueprint was my godmother's mother and father, the Stanleys, granddad and grandma. Granddad passed away a couple years ago, and grandma's still here. And these were my god-grandparents. They displayed what marriage looks like. As a child, I always admired it. And so they were one of my couples in real life that I admired. And growing up, let's toss this out there before we jump into it. Okay, Swifty, And this is, of course, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is not scripted. This is straight from the dome, straight from our heart. So we could be comical sometimes and things of that nature. But one of my favorite couples growing up watching on TV that were married that inspired me was the Huxtables. Claire and Cliff Huxtable. The Cosby Show. Was there a married couple outside of the Cosby Show that inspired you on TV that you used to look at and say, I like their marriage, I like their union?
You might laugh, but besides the Huxtables, the only couple that made me like was the Jeffersons.
Oh Lord, Wheezy, and George.
Yeah.
Lord bless it.
Their relationship was unorthodox, but it was fun. They was funny, but they ain't never. They was together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think you know what, that is funny. Wheezy was spicy. George was George. George was a real man.
And they both was stubborn, but they both wasn't stubborn to the point to where they wanted to get away from each other and divorce. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good.
They both were stubborn in their own way, but they still managed to navigate together through their stubbornness.
Let's table the couples from the TV shows, and I want to bring back couples after we introduce the 5 love languages. We'll talk a little bit, but let's go back to your couple, the Jeffersons. I'll talk about the Huxtables, and we'll say, what do we think their love language was? Fair enough? That's dope. Okay. Okay. So the author of this book is Dr. Gary Champman. And Swift, can you remember how we got introduced to this book?
Was it through Pastor?
Yes. Okay. If we was on a newlywed game, we might win a couple bucks. Yes, it was Pastor Carey. It was our homework. Remember, we had to go through premarital counseling prior to getting married. And what was Pastor's thought? What was Pastor's message to us about premarital counseling? Do you remember?
That if we didn't get it, that he wouldn't marry us.
Boom! See, we have a real pastor. Not just the pastor that's going to marry you when they know you're not equally yoked or all those great things, but one who is a man after God's heart. Also, he's a man. He's not holier than thou. He's from Chicago. Whoop, whoop. And he from them streets. But he is a man of God, and we love and respect him. And this was an assignment. He said, y'all got homework. He was like, y'all got to go out and buy this book. He didn't give us the book. We had to order the book. And our initial thought was, we'll just order 2 books because we had to read the whole book before we could even think about it. And so we agreed on how do we handle not ordering 2 books. You remember?
I remember it was this book and another book.
Yeah, but no, this one. Why didn't we? Do you remember why at first we were going to order 2 of these so we could take turns reading. But then, do you remember why we decided 1? Mm-hmm. Okay. No problem. It's okay. It's been 12 years.
You lost some points.
No, it's been 10 years. I'm sorry. It's been 10 years. No, you ain't lose no points. You can't take away points in the newlywed game. We ain't newlyweds, though. We old heads.
You just didn't get these points.
No, this is like a bonus point. Okay. So, no, we decided that we were going to get 1 book because while one person was reading, it allowed the other person to be present. So we wouldn't try to read along and go ahead.
Okay, then we agreed that reading to each other, we would soak up the knowledge much better. Well, for me, I soak up knowledge much better when you read to me versus when I'm reading. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Like, I don't know. It was one of them things to where you read something, then I read something.
Right, we took turns.
We took turns reading.
Yes.
But I don't know why I soak up knowledge much different when I'm being read to versus when I'm reading.
We're all different. You know what? We're all different type of learners. You could be an audible learner where you learn better by hearing versus by reading.
Yeah, I guess it's got has something to do with the focus. I don't know.
It's all good because that's why I was never really one of those wanted to go to when I was in college. I didn't want to go and do online college courses. People are like, oh, it's so much easier. You can, no, I need to sit there and ask the professor 50,000 questions because I'm that person. I want to, okay, so professor, do you mean? So I am that person. And so I prefer to be hands-on. I like to be in the midst of it right there. I can read and study on my own, but I enjoy being in the presence of people. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So we're going to talk about the 5 love languages. I'll rattle them off. And then we have a scripture. Before we get any further, we have a scripture. Swift, what's the scripture that we tied into knowing what the 5 love languages are?
The scripture is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, starting at verse 4. And it ends at verse 8. And it says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. Bam.
Okay. And so, if you broke that down, love is patient and kind.
Very self-explanatory in a lot of this.
Okay.
Love is patient. You got 2 different mindsets. You know what I'm saying? Two people are wired different. You're getting to learn each other. Patience is required. Love is kind. You want to be automatically kind to the one you love. It does not envy. Of course, you want to encourage people to do their best at whatever they do. And when God blesses them, you want to cheer them on. You don't want to sit back and say, oh, man, I wish that was me. You encourage them to do what they need to do and vice versa without any envy going on. It does not boast. If you were right about something that I was wrong about, you don't keep throwing it in the person's face like, I got that answer right, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. It is not proud, very self-explanatory. It does not dishonor others. If you love somebody, you don't put nobody down, or you don't try to hurt people to get ahead. You try to make sure that, they get the best of whatever they can get so they can get on too. When you love somebody, you want to make sure that they're happy as well, no matter if it's your family or friend. It is not self-seeking. You got happiness in your heart and love in your heart. You good and you confident within yourself, so you want to concentrate on making sure, everybody else is getting that love. You're not just, thinking about yourself. And it's not easily angered. When you love somebody, you're giving them grace. That grace will allow your anger to not be as potent as it would be for anybody else. That love, is given grace, so you're not easily angered.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps no records of wrongs. You forgive somebody, that's it. You move on. You know what I'm saying? It don't say nothing about forgetting, but at the end of the day, we're human, but you're not going to sit up here and just continue to just keep pressing on somebody, you know what I'm saying, about what they've done wrong once you forgave them if you love them. And it does not delight in evil, which is self-explanatory, but rejoices with the truth, meaning you're going to be honest and you're going to always tell a person what it is, no matter how they may feel about it. You love that person, so it's not about telling them what they want to hear, but you want to tell them what they need to hear, regardless of what it is. You're going to protect the person, with love. You're going to automatically say, hey, I think you should do this, or watch out for that, or blah, 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 or whatever. That's self-explanatory. Trust. Love opens the door to trust the situation, even if a person did something shaky. that love and forgiveness is going to automatically allow your heart to be worn on your sleeve once again. And, and it always preserves. You know what I'm saying? You're going to always preserve. You're going to always be able to be mindful towards things that will delight in the person you love, or be mindful about something that can happen that can make them happy, or something that can enlighten them with something. You want to be mindful of that person. You want to always preserve that place in your heart for them, for whatever's yet to come when it comes to happiness, or making sure that they're good, or whatever the case may be. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like the way you put that together. As you were reading, and I was sitting here, I'm smiling at you, right, as you're all in the book. But I was looking up at Miss D and Mr. Eddie photo above our couch right here, and they're both smiling. And I said, they probably proud of their only son sitting here having this early morning conversation about marriage and communication and things of that nature. Your parents were married for how many years?
I want to say, estimate wise,
mm-hmm.
I want to say, maybe over 50.
Wow.
Yep. Estimate wise.
Wow.
Yeah, it was over 50 years. I could say. Estimate wise. 50 something.
Really?
50 or 50 something. I think my parents got married maybe like the beginning of the 60s, or a little bit before the 60s. The end of the 50s, I think, or the beginning of the 60s, something like that. And they were married all the way until my mom passed in 2013.
No, they were still married. They never divorced. They never separated. And they rejoined in heaven, right? So they have eternal love, eternal life. Okay. And I love my in-laws. I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to create my own personal bond with each of them individually and collectively in such a time, in today's time. And a lot of times when we get married, sometimes you get married and the parents of either the husband or the wife don't always accept the spouse. They accept them because that's who you chose, but sometimes they feel you could have done better, or they wish you would have picked someone different. Sometimes, that old saying, I'm going to say this for us, and you can battle me if you want to. A mother knows. A mother knows when she meets that man that wants to marry her daughter, or that woman that wants to marry her son, if she or he is good for them.
I agree.
I agree too. And I'm waiting. I got 2 sons, biological, and I have, 4 sons altogether. And I might not be the nail on the head with my 2 sons, bonus sons, because I'm not their biological mom, but a mother knows.
And I'm gonna tell you something deep before you move on too. If a child is in tune with the mom, their child, the mom's child, whatever, and they have a bond and an understanding, and they kind of in tune, the child knows who to bring home and meet their mom too.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do.
For
sure.
It might be some people out there that might bring somebody home, or like tell their mom about them, whatever, and they might be like, dang, well I thought. But deep down inside, if you in tune with your parents, you know the type of person that your mom would be like, from the get-go. For sure.
Even when you dress them up and try to make them like a doll. Look, I'm gonna have you. We see past it, right? Because we all know how, when you come over, back in our time, it was, hi, Mrs. So-and-so, hi, Mr. So-and-so. Like, we teach Cody. If all his friends' parents, they might say, oh, call me so-and-so, or call me so-and-so. So, for instance, 2 of Cody's close buddies' parents, moms. Boston's mom, Heather. Casey's mom, Andrea. Cody calls both mothers by their first name, adding Miss in front of it. Hi, Miss Andrea. Hi, Miss Heather. Their children. Hi, Miss Teresa. Hi, Miss TT. Whatever. It's a level of respect. It's just like, and that's just something given. Or you meet somebody. Hi, Mrs. Moore. Hi, Mr. Moore. However that goes until you get a relationship. Like, oh, you could call me, and like Mr. Eddie. It was affectionate. It was just affection. I don't know. And Miss D. My mother-in-law name is Doris Jean. And I called her Miss D. She's sassy. And it was just something I made, Miss D. And so it was just like, it could have been, hey, Ma, hey, Dad. But it was like that was my name for them, Mr. Eddie, Miss D. And so it's just things we know. When I met your mother, it was just like, wow, like we have, and I ain't gonna say have, but we have a very loving connection. And it started way before I became her daughter-in-law. So anyway, moving on. So the book that you're holding is written by who?
Gary Champman.
Let's give some respect on that man's name. Dr. Gary Champman.
There you go.
All right, because people work hard for the PhDs. A lot of people are in debt because of the PhD. But Dr. Gary Champman. And so we brought this book to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're married, you're engaged, or you are in a long-term committed relationship where you're getting ready to move towards getting engaged, because if you've been together for a long time, here's a side note, okay? And I know y'all ain't even asking for the side note, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. You do what you like with it. If you're in a relationship and you've been in that relationship for a long time, some of y'all might be shacking. Some of y'all still might be living separate, but you've been in the same relationship with this person. You love them, and families love them. And some of y'all might have a child or children, and maybe not. What are your plans? What's your long-term goal? This would be a book for you, because I believe that you also could learn what your love language is through this book, no matter what stage you're in. And in this book, you learn about the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. According to Dr. Champman, and surveys and reality. And we even implemented this book into our married couples poor setting, but we also had another book, Paul Tripp, What Did You Expect? Which we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that within this 30-day challenge. But it's important that you know what the love languages are. I love the exercise we did at our church. I am one of the marriage ministry leaders at our church, and it was a beautiful thing when we started our marriage ministry group. We did this exercise, and our pastor and first lady was present. It was amazing. And we did it where we had the whiteboard and everything. And we really discovered, some of us learned at that moment doing that session what our love languages were. Some people are married and you don't even know what your love language is or what your spouse's love language is, let alone some people, and there's no shade, because guess what? Before we got married, a lot of people don't even know we have love languages like that, right?
Yep, I agree.
And Swift, you asked a question earlier. Share if you can remember the question you asked me about this.
You know, when I asked you, do you realize what was one of my love languages in the beginning, or what was it?
That's not the question, but that is a good question. We can talk about that really quick. No, the question I was hunting for was, can you have more than one love language?
Oh, yeah. And then we talked about that.
Yeah.
In the earlier sessions back in the days. I didn't realize that until we met, and then I had to ask you that to refresh my brain. But yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. And so Swifty and I discovered that, because back then, we talking about what, 2004? When I used to send emails and text messages, faxes, right? Faxes, boy, don't nobody really use faxes anymore. We don't even have fax machines in our department anymore. We use HelloFax. But anyway, that's another story. So, when you used to tour overseas, I would get your hotel rosters when you would be in different countries, and I would contact the hotel in advance and have a fax waiting for you. Mm-hmm. What's some other things I used to do with one of your love languages with that?
Well, that was like, the biggest thing was, they used to slip the letters up under the door. Mm-hmm. Well, you fax the downstairs and then you fold it, put it in the envelope, slip it under the door or whatever.
Right.
The texts and then the emails or whatnot. And then I used to be like, I was like, dang, you tap into my love language and you didn't even realize it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's one of mine. So you give freely of things that you want. A lot of times we say, do unto others as you'll have them do unto you. I am a person, one of my love languages is words of affirmation, but also acts of service. That's one of mine. Like one of yours is physical touch, right? It's one of mine too, but yours, you're a person that's open to public affection. You don't have a problem when we out and holding hands and snuggling and all those good things. And I don't have a problem with it either. Some people are like, no, don't be doing all that. Like, why? Like, are you embarrassed or what? Now, there's a difference, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's a difference in men. Now, men tend to do this. No shade. Sometimes y'all do the public display of affection because you trying to mark your territory like a puppy. You see somebody coming and you want to hold on to her and hug her and what? Grab on her butt. Come on, disrespect. I call it like I see it. Come on. Now, there's some things that's just raunchy. You don't need to be groping in public. No, I hate when I see that. That's disrespectful.
Side note.
Okay. Bring the side note, sir. Bring the side note, sir.
How would you know they marking territory?
I said like a dog.
How would you know when they put their arm around you in that restaurant that it's not just for like, I just want to put my arm around you? How would you know the difference between them doing it or this mine?
Okay, boom. Here we go. I'm glad you said that.
This is mine.
Really? Disrespect. Disrespect. I call it disrespect.
This is my woman.
Oh, Lord. Baby boy. Don't do it, Tyree. Don't do it.
Like, uh-oh, he walking in.
Uh-oh. He like, yeah, this is a real man.
Excuse me, bro. I know you ain't say nothing to her. I know you ain't even look at her. But guess what? This is my woman.
All right. Okay. Just bye. Okay, seriously. So I feel like this. So let's just say a man and a woman standing and they talking in a circle or whatever. And then they talking with people they know, whatever. And so a guy walk up and he ain't with somebody and he hugs your girlfriend, your wife, your friend, hey, and circle norm, whatever. I have literally seen the spouse, significant other, boyfriend put their arm around her neck, or stand behind her or something like that. I'm like, that's childish as hell.
No, but it is a thing. I seen Jay-Z do it. Like it's been a lot of times I've noticed when him and Beyonce walk into a room together, mm-hmm. amongst stars and people around, mm-hmm. Beyonce could say hi to somebody, mm-hmm. and when she gives them that friendly hug, Jay-Z puts his hand on his shoulder to say hi to him as well. Like it's a thing. Like I'm
here, I'm present.
Yeah.
Oh dang! I'm about to start going back and looking at videos now. I'm like, let me see the move, Jay. Let me see the Hove. Let me see Hove.
Like he could be standing behind or next to him, and as soon as he hugs Beyonce, he'll put his hand on the dude's shoulder.
Oh wait a minute! While he in the middle of hugging?
While she's in the middle of doing a friendly hug, he'll put his hand on.
Oh, disrespect! Come on, Jay. What? Oh, okay, I gotta look at that.
Yeah. He's done that.
Is it okay? Well, do you think it could be just like, hey, bro, I'm here too. Like, hey, how you doing?
Now, we don't know the relationship between the person that's saying hi to her. He could be friends with him too. Like, hey, buddy.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But it could go both ways. It could be like, hey, buddy, my homeboy, and she hugging him because they done had.
Right.
Or he could be putting his hands like, we together. Like, hey, what's up?
Like everybody know Hove and the B is together, though.
But when you think about it, they move as one. When you marry, you move as one. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with if we walking in and somebody say, hey, Teresa, and I'm like, I don't think if that's still a thing, I wouldn't do it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with somebody doing that.
Like we walk in somewhere and you like, hey, and people, hey, Swifty, and you give you love. I don't be like, hey, I don't go over and hug or tap or I don't do that.
No.
I wait and they be like, hey, TT.
I wouldn't do it either. But at the end of the day, I respect.
No, I respect it too. Everybody
it.
Has their
their
way of doing things,
Absolutely.
but I never looked at it like that. I wasn't referencing Hove and B on that level because I didn't know about that. But even that, I respect both of them, so it's nothing with that. But I'm talking about the jungle dude, and when I say jungle dude, don't come for me, y'all. I'm talking about the man. Like let me let you know my presence, because there's a lot of times women are in the businesses and industries, and you may not know that spouse. You may not know that significant other. You may not know that boyfriend. And so, now I think it's extremely rude when couples are out and you don't introduce.
That's a given. Of course.
Now, you might do something like that if she don't. Like, if a guy's with somebody and the woman is like, a lot of events, it's just like, oh, this is my husband, so-and-so, or this is my boyfriend, so-and-so, this is my friend, so-and-so.
That's the most naturalist way to let it be known. Like, yo, that's a given. But when you walk into a place holding hands or whatnot, that's the biggest sign of this is who you're together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then when you introduce, of course you introduce, because that leaves room open for a person to not know that there's a togetherness. So that's a must. If you're introducing yourself to somebody and you walking in a room with your wife and you was holding hands and you don't introduce her to the person and she's standing next to you, that leaves open that there's no connection. Yeah.
Now you gonna have a lot of people looking at people when they out and about. Oh, you see, he ain't even introduced her.
Absolutely.
She ain't introduced him.
Okay.
That don't mean that.
Listen to this. We done walked out the house.
Yes.
We holding hands. I open the door for you. You get in the car.
First of all, wait a minute. Why we walking out the house holding hands?
Because I want the neighbors to know that we together.
Oh, disrespect.
Close the drinks, baby. You know we together.
Oh my God, I can't take it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all.
So when we walk into the place and we holding hands and we walking in and everybody watches and then people walk up and we talking and I introduce myself for talking and you right next to me. So you've been next to me holding my hand or whatever the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I introduce myself and then that person give eye contact to you, I don't open the door to introduce. That doesn't feel, that's not right. So out of the whole time I'm showing that we're together, but I can't state your name to people. I can't give you an introduction once especially you talking to another woman. I can't give that introduction. That's what it's for. Okay, so we walk out of the chapel married, introducing Mr. and Mrs. That's the biggest introduction to when y'all get married. So that introduction has to be taken with y'all wherever y'all go.
Come on, sir, make a plan. Okay, I like what you're saying. Okay, so, all right, I feel that. But getting back so we don't digress and get off course. The 5 love languages we said are words of affirmation. We talked about that, how text messages, emails, and that's just a way of delivering that. But it's just building up, complimenting. You look nice today, or you still tell me you think that I am cute. You say beautiful, but I say cute. And I still say you look handsome. And sometimes I still get caught up looking like, oh, and I let you know, like, oh, you smell nice. And just all these little things, words of affirmation, right?
It has to come natural too.
Yeah.
I have to say it. Don't just, just said this because, you know, you feel in your mind like, okay, it's been a long enough. I haven't told my spouse that they look good in a while. Just be natural with it. You
right.
know, you know, if you walk in a room and they do something to your spirit, look wise, let it be known. Don't hide it or keep it to yourself. Just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Just because you felt that genuineness to just want to say it, and then let it take its course. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it for any other reason because you were moved to do it.
Okay.
That's with anything, basically.
Now, acts of service. For me, it's one of my love languages. I love when I can come home and you might have made dinner, or I love coming home and our bed is made up. Like that people might be like, that ain't no big deal. It is to me. I enjoy coming home and after wherever I'm at, especially when I come in from work, going upstairs and then opening the door and the bed is made up. Everything is in its place. These are things that make me happy.
Now, you do things naturally, not you, but in general, doing things natural, whatever. But once you realize what floats your spouse's boat or whatnot, and you love that person, you're going to naturally want to move her.
Or him.
That's what I say. Yeah, her or him.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to naturally move that person. You know what I'm saying? So as you live with each other and get to know each other more and more and more, you know what I'm saying? These things, when you love, these things are going to come to you because you're going to appreciate, you want her to have that feeling of, because when you love somebody, you want to be able to give that. You know what I'm saying? So, acts of service, you know, it should be a natural thing to be able to just do. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah, I agree. And it's a two-way street, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just the men doing the acts of service, ladies, for us. It's us also doing the acts of service for them. Like if there's laundry, if a lot of times, and I'm on the go a lot though, but when I have a moment to be still, if there's laundry in our baskets, you'll bring them up. I'll hang your clothes up like I hang mine up. I'll put your clothes away. It's an act of service, right? Of course, if I'm cooking, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like for you. For me, I enjoy when I jump in my car because, you know, I like to live on half a tank or less. And when I hop in my car, I'm like, damn, I got to go to the gas station tomorrow or whatever because I don't like to stop for gas late at night. And I hop in and then I see gas been put in my car. I'm like, oh. And then I'll call you or I'll text you and say, babe, thank you so much. And oh, yeah. It's little things like that. Those are acts of service. It's little things like that that makes a heck of a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, you could have your own different ways and acts of service affirmations. We're just giving you an example. So the third one is receiving gifts. Those don't have to be humongous gifts, right? It don't have to be humongous. It could be, I bought your favorite candy and I left it in your car on your seat. Or I left it, you know, I made you a massage appointment. Or I made you a nail appointment. Or you like, you know, you've made me a makeup appointment before with Toy. And things like that. Got me a makeup class. It's like, wow. You know, or you may have went out and you paid attention to a few of the stores I like to shop at. And you might have got me a gift card. Here, I ain't know what you wanted, so I got you this gift card because I know you like going to the store. I'm like, oh, thank you. Those are receiving gift moments that is like, wow. Or a little, hey, you know what I'm saying? An unexpected gift for no reason. Now, back in the day growing up, I was witnessing when people did that, that's because they messed up. You and effed up. You buying flowers and candy. And be like, you know, I remember one time you brought me some flowers and I was like, what's that for? And he was like, I just brought you some flowers. I was like, thank you, to the office. And I was thinking like, oh, this is nice. But my childhood came to me like, what he do? He must have did something. Oh, he just brought me some flowers. But it was just because.
Yeah, I know a lot of couples receive gifts and because of what they may have went through or the experience they had experienced, they might be looking at it like, okay. You know, what is this? What's this? Whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why am I, you know, and instead of just embracing it, you know, you just thought of, you know.
Yeah. That's nice. That's cute. I like that. Number 4, quality time. That is, I think we could put that with date night. We talked about the importance of dating yesterday. Quality time. It don't have to be like a date, but just making sure you spend time.
And I think a lot of couples out here struggle with this love language as a whole, because I've experienced a lot of friends growing up who had problems with, you know, their significant other spending quality time with them, because it might not even have to be a thing where they just lazy and don't do it. It could be they're working or whatever, but make sure no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, that you prioritize to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
You know, everybody got different lives, different schedules, different things going on, and I'm not knocking any of that, but you always make a time to prioritize to the best of your ability, because I think that is very, 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 very important to spend quality time, period, even beyond the love language factor.
Yeah.
You know, when people say marriage is work or whatever, I think that's one thing that you have to put in work, whether it is your love language or not.
Mm-hmm.
To make quality time for your significant other, even if that's not your love language. But that's a love language for many out there too, is love, that quality time and just that bonding time or whatnot. And I think it's not to veer off too much, I think it's you know, not too much space. The space may be important for a lot of couples too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that has to be balanced, however that may look for the couple.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then the last one is physical touch.
Now let's go back to, like you said, you know, it don't always have to be, it's my woman, let me put my arm around her.
Lord bless it.
You know, people might feel like if you watching a movie at AMC and I'm yarning to put my arm around you, like, I just want to put my arm around.
Nah, brother. And the way the seats made, not with the recliners, ain't nobody got time for nobody putting their arm around her. They took that away. You going to sleep up in there.
Energy. It's all about energy. Like you know, people who have physical touch as a love language appreciates their significant other's energy. Energy is a big thing.
Yeah.
In a relationship. Like,
yeah.
You know, especially for people who have physical touch as a love language, they're really big on energy. You know, and physical touch from holding hands and to just kind of rubbing the hair, stroking your hair, or whatever the case may be. That creates energy. That's very, very comforting to the person that love you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I like the physical touch too. I like to snuggle, and you know, I like when we whether we sitting on the couch and we watching TV, or if we laying in bed and we snuggle and watching a movie or TV. It's just that. I like that. Now, there are some people, and I used to worry about this with you in the beginning, like, if we snuggle, can we just snuggle, or you gonna snuggle and now we gonna have to get intimate right now in the middle of this damn movie, blah, blah, blah. I mean, naturalness. However, some people can't snuggle and cuddle without, we gotta have sex.
It really depends on the couple. It really depends on the couple. I mean, you can't measure a person's drive. A person a woman or man, just might be in the mood to do it. I mean, they might not be in the mood to do it. They might not
do it.
Yeah, do it.
That's like so elementary. You want to do it? Like, ew.
They might not be interested to go to third base.
Third base? No, not third base. Come on with the language this morning. These are those Saturday shenanigans, y'all. What in the Lifetime special? Okay, I can't do it. Third base. You want me to write a note? Yes or no? You gonna circle one of those? I can't take it.
No, let's just do first base. base.
I can't.
Third base next week.
Oh my God. Let's break out our calendars. Okay.
But
No.
it really depends on the on a couple like that. That's one thing to where you can't measure a person's interest as far as wanting to be to do it or whatever the case may be. So that has to be communicated.
Okay.
How that looks for the couple, But yeah, but that physical touch is a love language that is not just measured just by sex. You know what I'm saying? It can,
right.
It can be you can be cutting up potatoes on the sink, and I walk past and just want to hug you
or hit me on the ass.
Yeah,
like I walk in, I might grab your butt. I like to pinch your booty and shit. But we grown, we married. Don't talk no shit. Okay, it's grown and sexy. But yeah, so it's like I like always talk about your legs. You got some strong, nice ass legs, and they're like Thor legs. And so I like I like to rub along your legs sometime or whatever. Sometimes your arms be glistening. I like to rub on your arm. You know what I'm saying? It's like childish, but it's like you know what I'm saying. I like to rub your shoulder. It just depends. And so might come in and smooch on your little bald head. It just depends, right? But here is some data for you guys. You guys can go to www.today.ugov.com. And according to surveys, the most common love language is quality time. The love language preferred by the most people is quality time. It ranked 38% at the top of the love language. Women, those that are under 45, was at 41%, and those 45 and older was at 44%. Especially likely to say that quality time is their favorite way to receive love. And that was just done in February of 2022. I thought that was really interesting.
I think the quality time creates such a great energy and bonding time between the couples, because it allows I can't really put the word for it, but it really allows the comfortability to get taken to another level. If you're there with that person and that person is there, I think it could kind of, and you do that often.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of creates a great bonding mechanism, as far as the couple is concerned. And when you have that bond, I think that makes the relationship even much more sweeter. So, in my opinion, I think that's probably why that is one of the most highest percentage, because quality time, like I said, is very important, even if it's not your love language, because it creates such of a better bond. I don't want to say better for lack of better term, but it just creates a bond that just takes your relationship to that next level when you're able to spend the sufficient time needed with your spouse. In my opinion, I don't know. What you think? Like,
I can see your viewpoint, but for those, and I have to add this, because we live in a very chaotic world, and a lot of people come from broken homes, broken places, trauma, and that brings me to this next link I want you guys to chime into to be able to put this together. If you go to www.brickeland.associates.com, that's going to be BRICKELAND associates.com. You can look up where they says trauma creates barriers to using love languages. They said that trusting them or using them, which is love languages, can feel too risky without a foundation of safety inside themselves and in the relationship. Any of the love languages, affirmation, physical touch, gifts, etc., can be memory triggers for times that felt endangered or manipulative. And I'm going to say this, I can be open and transparent. I think the physical one was really a challenge for me growing up because I had suffered childhood molestation. So when the touch, it kind of be like, make me uncomfortable. It took me a while. I don't feel that way now, so much so, but it's kind of like uh-oh. It would be like you rub it on my arm or my leg or something. It's like, oh, God. So without the other person knowing, though, because a lot of times we have this childhood trauma or even adult trauma, and it goes both ways, men and women, and different things. Or if you got abused and your abuser bought you gifts, then when someone you're in a good relationship with buys you gifts, you may be thinking like, uh-oh, something must have happened, or this is triggering something. So we have to address those things too.
Yeah. And like I said in the scripture, love is patient.
Mm-hmm.
So like it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, starting at verse 4 through 8. Somewhere in there it says love is patient. So if your spouse is going through that type of trauma or whatnot, you be patient enough to have these conversations, so y'all can go ahead and get through it, so where things can transpire what works for you guys in the midst of that.
I agree. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a really sexy Saturday morning. And we hope that today you have learned something. We hope that you will go out and order this book. You can get it on Amazon, your local bookstore. If you want to just see if it's something you want to add to your library at home, I would suggest just going to the library and getting the book, reserving it. It is the 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Champman. It's a very, very powerful book. How many pages is that book, Swift?
199.
It's 199 pages. How many chapters does it tell
14.
us? 14 chapters. So it's up to you how long it would take you and your spouse to read that. I would suggest that you read it as a couple. Sometimes you have a more avid reader than the next in your relationship. So if you are that person that loves to read and your spouse is a person that loves to listen, perhaps you can read it and then take that information and share it with your spouse and let this spark a new conversation for you. I believe that it's healthy. It's a healthy tool to have in your marriage. Learning your love languages, developing your love languages. And if you don't know what your love language is, discovering your love language. Anything you want to add to that?
I agree. When you guys are together, just, make sure you tap into that aspect, because you're talking about being together forever. And I think it's very, very important that you learn each other on that aspect of love languages and respect it and be very, very mindful of it equally. And I believe that longevity will take place if that happens. Yeah, so.
Nicely said. Well, that's all we have for you, ladies and gentlemen, on this Saturday morning. We're going to get ready to get ourselves together. So it's going to be a long, awesome day. We will see you guys on tomorrow, Sunday, which will be day 6. And we hope that you are enjoying thus far the 30-day marriage challenge. And we hope that you're implementing things every day in your own union. For those of you that are already married, whether you've been married a year or more, or you're newly married, or you're getting ready to get married, we hope that something we say within these 30 days will be something you can take as a jewel to put into your own trunk of love. That's all we'll have, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.